Hi everyone, my name's Emily Carter and I'm a paralegal candidate. Thanks for being here today. I'm going to go through 5 common scams that often target people in Ontario, some warning signs to watch for, and where people can go for help or reliable information. The first scam I want to talk about is fake government or immigration calls, texts, and emails. This is when someone pretends to be from the IRCC or the CRA or even the police, and they say that there's a problem with your immigration status or your taxes or your personal information. They usually want to scare you into acting fast by giving money or sharing personal or banking information right away. They might even threaten things like arrest, deportation, or large fines. There are a few warning signs that people should watch out for. A big red flag is when someone asks for payment using gift cards, cryptocurrency, wire transfers, or a rushed e-transfer to a personal account. Government agencies do not ask for payment that way. Another warning sign is pressure or fear, like someone saying you'll be arrested, deported, or reported to the police if you don't pay immediately. It's also a warning sign if they ask for personal information like your social insurance number, passport details, banking information, passwords, or security codes by phone, text, or email. And people should remember that caller ID, email addresses, and links can all be faked. If someone gets a call or message like this, the most important thing is not to panic. Don't give out your personal or banking information to someone who's contacted you unexpectedly. Don't click links or open attachments that are in suspicious emails or texts that claim to be from the government. And don't send money just because someone is threatening you over the phone. If something feels wrong or overly urgent, it's okay to end the call, stop responding, and take a moment to verify the information yourself. If you can, save screenshots, phone numbers, emails, or messages because that can help if you need to report the scam later. It's important to double check messages before responding because we also don't want people to ignore real government communication. The best thing to do is go directly to the source yourself. For immigration issues, this means using the IRCC website or contacting them directly instead of using the phone number or link sent by the scammer. For taxes, you should log into your CRA account or use the CRA website to check if there's any messages or if you owe money. In general, just don't trust links or phone numbers sent through random calls, texts, or emails. One helpful tip is that real Government of Canada websites usually end in .gc.ca or .canada.ca, so you can look for those when you're double checking a message. This becomes a legal issue in a few different situations. When money's been taken, when your personal or banking information has been used for fraud, or when someone is making ongoing threats or pretending to be the police. If any of those things happen, the best thing to do is act quickly. Contact your bank or credit card company, report it to your local police, and report it to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre. If you're not sure what to do next, community legal clinics and licensed paralegals in Ontario can give legal information and explain what options exist in your situation. The next scam that I want to talk about is fake job and recruitment scams. This is when someone pretends to be a recruiter or employer and they're offering high pay, easy work, or a guaranteed job in Canada. This scam often starts through fake job ads, emails, text messages, or social media posts. They might do a very quick interview or no real interview at all, and then suddenly tell you that you got the job. Then they ask for money for training, processing fees, a labor market impact assessment, or to secure the job. They might also ask for personal or banking information really early on in the process, even before you officially start working. There are several warning signs to watch for. One major warning sign is being asked to pay money to get the job because real employers generally don't charge people money to hire them. Be especially careful if someone guarantees you a job or promises a lot of money for very little work. It's also suspicious if there's no real interview or if they only communicate through apps like WhatsApp or Telegram. And finally, it's concerning if you can't confirm that the company is real through a website, an address, or a phone number. There are some important things you should not do. Don't send money up front for interviews, training, processing fees, or guaranteed work permits. Don't cash checks and send money back because the check might be fake. And don't share personal or banking information with people you have not confirmed are legitimate. There are also some things that you can do to protect yourself. Take some time to independently research the employer or recruiter before you respond or send anything. You can also check whether the job is posted on the company's career page. Ask questions if something feels unclear. A real employer shouldn't pressure you to act immediately. And if possible, try to get important details in writing before you sign anything. If someone is unsure whether a job offer is real, it's important to check things yourself. Try looking up the company instead of trusting the links or phone numbers that were sent to you. As I said earlier, you can also contact the company directly to confirm that the recruiter and the job posting are actually real. Colleges and career services can also help review job offers or answer questions. And remember that it's okay to say no or take time to think before agreeing to anything. A job scam can become a real legal issue when the fake job leads to real problems. This might happen if you paid money for fees or training, if your personal or banking information was used for fraud, or if the scammer keeps contacting you with threats or demands. If something like that happens, you don't have to deal with it by yourself. You can contact your bank or credit union, report the situation to local police, and make a report to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre. If you're not sure what to do next, community legal clinics and licensed paralegals in Ontario can provide legal information and explain what options might exist in your situation. And just as a final reminder, if a job offer or promise of income sounds too good to be true, it probably is. That's a sign to ask questions, check with someone you trust, or walk away before losing money or sharing your personal information. Another scam that often targets people involves fake immigration help and guaranteed visa offers. This happens when someone claims that they can help with visas, work permits, or permanent residence applications for a fee. They might promise a guaranteed approval or faster processing if you pay a little extra. But only the IRCC can approve applications or decide processing times. There are several important warning signs. One big warning sign is anyone claiming they can guarantee a visa or faster processing. Another thing to watch for is pressure to pay large fees quickly, especially through cash, gift cards, cryptocurrency, or rushed money transfers to a personal account. It's also suspicious if the person can't prove they are properly licensed. And finally, be careful of fake websites or ads that look official but claim they can get easy approvals or work permits. There are a few important things to avoid. Don't believe promises of guaranteed approval or faster processing. Don't pay large upfront fees through cash, gift cards, or money transfers. And don't give your passport or ID to someone you don't fully trust. There are also some ways to help protect yourself. Before hiring anyone, take time to research who they are and what services they are legally allowed to provide. Use government websites to compare forms, fees, and processing times. Ask for written agreements and receipts, and keep copies of any documents filed in your name. And remember that a trustworthy professional should be willing to explain things clearly and give you time to make informed decisions. If someone is unsure whether the person helping with their immigration papers is legitimate, there are a few important places to check. Government immigration fraud pages explain common scams and warn that no one can guarantee a visa or faster processing. People can also check the Law Society website and the immigration consultant public list to see if the person is properly licensed. And the IRCC website lists real forms, fees, and processing times, so people can compare what they're being told to the actual immigration process. This becomes a legal issue when a scammer takes money for fake immigration help or puts false or misleading information into an application. It's also serious if someone is holding or misusing your passport, identity documents, or IRCC numbers, because that can affect your status in Canada and future applications. In those situations, people can report immigration fraud to the IRCC or the Canada Border Services Agency, and also report the scam to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre or the local police. Legal help can also be important. Community legal clinics, immigration professionals, and licensed paralegals in Ontario can provide legal information and help explain what options might be available. The next type of scam I'm going to talk about is rental and housing scams. This is when someone advertises a rental that looks very nice and very cheap. The person claims to be the landlord, but they want a deposit right away before properly showing the unit. Sometimes the property is fake, already rented, or not theirs to rent out in the first place. There are several important warning signs to watch for. One major warning sign is when the rent is suspiciously low, especially if it's much cheaper than similar places in that same area. Be careful if someone pressures you to send money before seeing the property or signing a lease. It's also suspicious if the landlord refuses to meet in person or properly show the unit. Another thing to watch for is missing information, like no written lease or no full name, address, email, or phone number for the landlord. You should also be cautious if someone asks for personal information, like your social insurance number or banking details, before you've even decided to rent the unit. And finally, it can also be a bad sign if they don't ask for any references or information about you at all. There are a few important things to avoid. Don't send deposits or rent before seeing the property, confirming who the landlord is, and carefully reading a written lease or rental agreement. Don't pay through gift cards, cryptocurrency, wire transfers, or other payment methods that are hard to trace, cancel, or recover if it turns out to be a scam. And don't give out your social insurance number, banking information, or copies of identification until you're confident the rental is legitimate. There are also some ways to reduce the risk of scams like this. If possible, visit the property in person or ask for a live video tour. Research the address and landlord online to look for duplicate ads or complaints. You can ask for a written lease or rental agreement and read it carefully before paying anything. And once you're confident that the rental is real, use safer payment methods like a check or e-transfer so you have a record of the payment. There are several ways people can check whether a rental listing is legitimate before moving forward. Government websites about fraud and scams like the Competition Bureau, the RCMP, and the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre explain common rental scams, warning signs, and how to report them. Websites like the Landlord and Tenant Board also explain what legitimate rental processes and standard leases usually look like. This can help people recognize suspicious listings, identify warning signs, and better understand when something might be a scam. This becomes a legal issue when someone loses money because of a fake or dishonest rental offer, or when their personal information is stolen and used for fraud. If this happens, they should contact their bank right away if they sent money or shared their banking details, and report what happened to their local police and the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. After that, they can talk to places that help tenants, community legal clinics, and licensed paralegals in Ontario to understand their rights and what steps they might be able to take. The final scam I want to talk about is online banking and phishing scams. This is when someone sends fake emails, text, or messages that look like they're from a bank, the government, a delivery company, or a well-known business like Amazon or Netflix. They often try to scare you or pressure you with messages like, your account will be closed, or you have a refund waiting, click here. The goal is to get you to click a link, share passwords or banking information, security codes, or transfer money. Sometimes they also promise easy money or unusually high investment returns. There are several important warning signs. One major warning sign is an unexpected email, text, or message asking for personal or banking information. Another thing to watch for is pressure or threats, like messages saying your account will be locked or you'll be charged if you don't do something immediately. Be careful of suspicious links, attachments, or email addresses, even if the message looks real or official. Messages about prizes, refunds, or guaranteed investment returns can also be signs of fraud. Real banks and companies won't ask you to send your password or a one-time security code through a message. So if someone asks for that information, it's almost always a scam. With scams like this, there are a few important things to avoid. Don't click suspicious links or open attachments in unexpected emails or texts. Don't share passwords, banking information, or one-time security codes with strangers online. And don't send money or invest in offers promising very high, fast, or guaranteed returns. There are a few practical things that people can do to help protect themselves. If you get a suspicious message, take a moment to pause before responding. Check your account separately through your normal banking app or official websites to see if there are any real alerts or problems. And when possible, delete, block, or report suspicious messages instead of continuing to respond. If someone is unsure whether a message or phone call is real, there are a few ways to check. For bank messages, this means using your banking app, the website you normally use, or the phone number on your bank card or your statement. For messages claiming to be from the government, people can check their online account or go directly to the website to see if there are any real messages or problems. For companies like delivery services, phone providers, or streaming services, people can go directly to the company's usual app or website to check if there's actually a problem with their account. Banks, government websites, and the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center also share information about common phishing scams, warning signs, and how to report fraud. This becomes a legal issue when money leaves your account because of a fake message, or when your personal or banking information is used without your permission for fraud or identity theft. If that happens, contact your bank or credit card company right away so they can try to stop payments, block your cards, and watch your accounts for unusual activity. You should also report the scam to your local police and to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. If your identity information may have been stolen, you can also contact Equifax or TransUnion to check your credit report and get a fraud alert put on your file. Community legal clinics and licensed paralegals in Ontario can also help explain your legal rights and what steps might be available if money was taken or your identity was misused. Scams can affect anyone, and scammers often rely on fear, urgency, or confusion to pressure people into acting quickly. Taking a moment to slow down, verify information, and ask questions is one of the best ways to protect your money, personal information, and legal rights. Thank you for listening.